Welcome back to this special edition of Hannity. Tonight, crime continues to rise in America's Democrat-run cities while the left refuses to take action. Yesterday, a New York City man was arrested for robbing a Chase Bank. It came just one day after he was reportedly released from police custody at the prosecutor's request for robbing a different Chase Bank. And during the New York City mayoral debate, one candidate, Maya Wiley, refused to answer when asked about taking guns away from New York City police officers. The backlash was so strong that her team is now denying she wants to disarm the cops. And meanwhile, as shootings continue to soar in New York City, former NYPD police chief Terry Monahan said it was a mistake to disband the anti-crime unit tasked with firearm busts without replacement. The unit was disbanded last June amid widespread violence against police and riots, including a July 15th incident that left Monahan himself injured. Terry Monahan joins us now with reaction. All right, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Judge. How you doing?
Good. All right. So, we started with, I'm terrific, thanks. We started with one guy's being released after having robbed a Chase Bank. While he's out on no bail, he robs another Chase Bank, and then he's released again. I mean, when you were chief of the department, life was a little different, and the criminals kind of got... they got a little more serious in terms of criminal justice and how they were being handled.
That's a direct response to bail reform. When you look at that individual, you were a judge. If you had discretion, and this man just robbed a bank, and you were told he was homeless, you would never have let him walk back out on the street. But under bail reform, it's mandatory that on a robbery third like that, you have to get an automatic ROR, no matter how dangerous you are. So the one thing we've always asked, we're not looking to go back to exactly the same bail laws we had before, but we elect judges, people that we elect, appoint judges, give them that discretion. If someone is dangerous to the community, that individual should not be put back out on the streets.
Right. And the other part of it is if you've got this guy who jumps or is able to leave on one arrest for a bank, goes out during his bail and then commits another robbery of a bank, what makes them think this guy is going to show up for trial anyway? You and I both know he's not going to show up for trial unless he's brought in on the day of trial. And the chances of that happening are slim to none. Let's talk about this woman who's running for mayor in New York City, this Maya Wiley. What do you think of her?
Listen, her statement, the idea of disarming cops is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life. We've had 700 people shot in this city so far this year. Our cops, our great cops in New York City, have made over 1,300 gun arrests. How are you making that gun arrest if you don't have a gun on your side? It would just leave us with dead cops all over the place.
Well, you know what, Chief? It's amazing because we've already seen the problems with defunding police. And this woman that you're seeing on the screen who's running for mayor of New York City, she wants to take another $1 billion from the NYPD. I mean, this is crazy town now. And, I mean, we only have about 10 seconds. But what do you think? Can New York come back from this?
Absolutely.
Yes,
and we are coming back. You have the greatest cops in the world. Yes. Yes, they can. You have the greatest cops in the world here, and they're going to keep this city safe.
All right. Thank you, Chief Monahan. Stay with us.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.